writing competitions, if you've ever heard of DEF CON. So I'm a geek. I love software, love writing software. This is one of my babies, and I'm really proud of it. I love real estate data, and I've been working in real estate data for about 25 years because it's so massive and has so many changes every single day. And someone in 1989 told me that I would not be able to predict an automated valuation model within 60%. I said, no, I can do that. And I'm at 7% discrepancy right now, which means really, really close. $1 million property, we're predicting the value within $70,000 plus or minus. Now, Western Live Farm. Western Live Farm is farming on steroids. I'm gonna overwhelm you a bit today. We have an hour, correct? I'm going to overwhelm you a bit today. I want you to get a glimmer of everything that's available in the product. There is something for everyone. There are a few features that I think all of you should use. There are an enormous amount of features that can change your world in the way you're marketing. Just so you know, also, we are about to add a bunch of AI features, which I'm not allowed to demonstrate yet. The parent company of Western Life Farm has not given me the okay to launch the AI features in the product, but you're gonna love those. There is a couple AI features already in here. So to go on, I'm gonna go into the product, I'm gonna show you what it does. So again, it's farming on steroids. You log in, you create a farm. Now, why is it called Western Live Farm is because it is a living farm once you create it. You have to change the way you do business with farms. So right now, or in the past, you created a farm. It echoed over there. I thought someone was behind me. You create a farm and you say, I want 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, I want this area, this range, this price range. You get the farm, you use it, it's done, it's toast. In 3 months, in 3 weeks, it is useless to you because everything has changed in that farm. What we do is we recommend you create a living farm, create the area, and then let it notify you of everything that's going on in that area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you in. By the way, I'm logged in a demo account, but I'm logged in as you would be. And I can go in, I can create a farm by polygon, by zip code, by city, by subdivision, by EDDM. Who knows what EDDM is? Every door direct mail. 75% discount from the post office if you mail with EDDM. It basically means if you give a printed item to the post office, they give you 75% off postage if you hit every single door in that carrier route. Tremendous savings by using EDDM. We have subdivision by map, tract, and county. But I'm going to go into a polygon because I want to explain one thing that's really important. And let's just do. So when you see a map in using, I like to use the satellite view. It really helps me demonstrate what I'm about to talk about. When you create a farm, I'm going to ask you a simple question. Do homes sell for the same price on one side of the freeway that they do on the other? Never. Do they sell on the same price on one side of the boulevard as the other? One side of the hill to the other side of the hill, top of the hill to the bottom of the hill? They don't. So don't create farms like that. Don't create a farm of Eugene. It's useless. You're not going to mail to all of Eugene. Create a farm in bound areas. So what I did is I turned on the satellite view because I'm not a native to Eugene, but you can physically see the area. So if I go to a populous area here, I can tell this is one area. It looks like a bunch of commercial. Can you see that okay? My screen is much clearer. I'm going to change. No, it's okay. So you can see this area is one type of home. This area is another, and I would probably go all the way around this area to create. But if I wouldn't do this area, I wouldn't do this area with that area. They're different. They have a separation. Now, why do you want to do that? When you're creating a farm, you want some stats that actually give you some meaning, some reason. So I'm going to jump right into that. I'm going to go into my farm. Let's go into this West Eugene farm. And I'm going to come up. I'm not going to go through all those different features here. I'm going to go to stats. And I want you to see the different features that I can read. So right off the bat, I see that this farm, the stay years is 11.69 years. What's the average stay years for a home in the United States? How long they stay in the home, on average. The average across the United States is 8. Every farm is different, but every time I talk to a realtor, they go, I got to market to this farm for 8 years because that's the average. Every farm is different. Where I live, 24 years is the average stay year. So why not know the area that you're in so that you know how fast people are moving? This one I know that I have to market to consistently for 12 years. That's how long you have to market to them. So know your farm. I can see how many records are, the average sales price over 12 months, how many are owner occupied, how many are absentee. That can change day to day because it's a living farm. Target farm, my absolute favorite filter within the system. Who is likely to list their home in the next 24 months? There's 70 people in this farm of 1230 that are likely to list their home in the next 12 months. Who should you be hitting consistently? Those 70 people. Not hard to market to 70 people. Hard to market to 1230. Expensive, not expensive. So you should be hitting those people on a regular basis. We are at a 72% accuracy on that number right now. 72% of the time we hit this right. Pretty good stat for you to be marketing to, and it's a simple little filter that you can go into use in the system. More stats, and I can go into a whole bunch more in here, and I have a whole presentation on all of them, but I'm not going to go into that. But you can see your units sold over time, your dollar volume over time. I can see this area went in 2021, we know why, spiked, 2022 coming down, but still average in 2022 to 2020, 2019. And then we see 2022, 2023, it was good years, and we don't know 2024 yet, that's just the beginning. Our units sold, our average sales price. Really good to know to show a potential investor. Look at the average sales price in this area. So when someone buys in a community, in a tract, in a subdivision, and you have that farm loaded, what a great graph to show them. Look, it's been consistently climbing on the value of your home. So lots of different graphs you can use. Oh, this is a great graph. This is terrific. It's pure coincidence. Owner occupied is turning over at 4.15%. Absentees are pointing at 0.89%. Should I be focused on absentees? Wasting my time. They're not selling. Now, if you're talking to an investor, this is the place to buy. They're holding for a reason. So, marketing-wise, typical normal realtor, I should be focused on the owner-occupied and not wasting my time on the absentees. But if I'm talking to an investor to buy, I want to tell them, hey, this community has a lot of properties that people are holding for a very long time. Lots of great graphs. My favorite graph is turnover rate over time. I love this graph. Why? Because I typically get realtors coming to me and they ask, you know, I've been marketing this area forever, but in the last year it just tanked. And I like to ask them, is it you or is it the farm? Well, of course it's not me. Let's go. I'm a math guy. Graduated from Caltech in mathematics and computer science. To me, everything is math. So if they were not doing well in this farm, it definitely is the farm, right? It came down. But if the farm was even, or if the farm started to spike and their sales went down, no, it's you. Something went different. Now you need to go look and see what your competitors are doing, what they're doing. But this graph tells you everything. It also tells you if you're going into that area, should I be pushing hard or should I be coasting? You always need to continue your marketing to keep your name recognized in that area. But if it's dying, you should be coasting and not pushing really hard. But if it's on a rise, you should be pushing hard because that's where the homes are selling. Turnover rate over time is extremely important. Sales trends. I won't get into appreciation too much, that's a bunch of math, but average square footage. Does an overbuilt home sell quick? No. Underbuilt home sell quick? No. And now you can get your area and you can say, look, your home is overbuilt, the yellow is overbuilt, the red is, or the orange is, it's average, so it'll sell quick. Underbuilt won't sell quick. Overbuilt, really hard to get that sales price. Underbuilt, hard to get that sales price. So this is a quick graph to be able to show in a listing presentation. You want to list here, your square footage is this, your beds or bath is this. You might be overbuilt, you might be underbuilt, but this is how long it's going to take us. Because they always come in and say, I want to sell it yesterday and I want to sell it for $1 million. Yeah, maybe there's things that you can show them mathematically that bring them to light instead of you going in and saying, hey, I've been doing this for 25 years and I know the market. Because they always disagree, right? So stats are extremely important to be able to look at. And here, very quickly, I can go into my farm, just choose stats, and now I have the current stats as of today, living farm. Remember, this is not a one-time thing. This is something you should be looking at on a monthly basis to see what's changing, what's going on in my farm. So that's one great feature. We also, again, this is like Excel on steroids, right? It gives you all the filters for you. You don't have to have some millennial techie from U of O, sitting there doing all the Excel graphs to say, hey, show me all the owner occupied, show me all the absentees, or requesting those farms. Here I can just do it very quickly and choosing it in any one of my filters. So let's say I choose owner occupied. It then takes my list and it shows me all of my owner occupied properties. Quick, simple, easy to do, and you have all these different filters to work with. Now, when I'm working with my filters, I can sub-filter them. I can filter them on surnames. I can filter them on many other things. I can come in here and say, hey, show me all the Spanish surnames. And now I'm looking at all the Spanish surnames in my farm. So real quick, real easy to filter down. But we have tons of pre-built filters for you. Recent buyers, people that have purchased in the last 90 days. Out of state, they own the property out of state. What should you do with out of state? I love the marketing technique of let me be your eyes and ears. Hey, you don't live near your property, I live near the property, I'm a Eugene realtor. Let me let you know what's going on. Come to me if you have any information that you need on your property. Was there a big storm? Maybe they want information on how the property looks. Would you mind going and taking a picture of that property? You befriend that out-of-state person, and you become their contact, and when they want to sell, who do they call? The person that's befriended them. I'm going to give you a sad story, but a solid marketing story. Northern California, you heard of all the big fires. You guys had a big fire as well, about the same time. Northern California, we have these massive fires. All the residents could not go into the areas. They were totally blocked off because it happened in a massive residential area. This wasn't a mountain fire. What was it? 157,000 acres totally burnt. Nevertheless, sad indication. But what one realtor did, not quite legal, did a drone flight over the entire area and sent a YouTube video of her drone flight to all the out-of-state owners. They all loved her. They all said, would you go again? Would you go one block to the right or one block up and maybe look at that one property? And she did. Sadly, the fires were terrible, but she got 12 listings in 1 week for her area. Just being a little bit out of the box. Out of state, they're not there much. You can actually work with them. Absentees, we know. Target farm, it's that simple. I want to see all the likely movers on my list. You click it, it does some thinking, and there are my likely movers over the next 24 months. 27 AI algorithms, artificial intelligence, figuring out who's going to move. Now, a lot of people ask me, okay, but what criteria is it? It's very hard to answer it because it's AI. But let me give you an example. What's your name? Kayla. Kayla has 5 doctorate degrees, 2 masters, and she lives in a community, and she talks to everyone in that community every day. She talks to the kids, she gives them Kwanzaa gifts, she gives them holiday gifts, she gives them Happy New Year gifts, she talks to the family and everyone that's in that neighborhood. She also talks to the President of the United States, she talks to the President of NAR, the President of FAR, the President of the Oregon Realtor Association, every single day to know what's going on in that community. How well do you think she would predict people moving in that neighborhood if she's been doing that for 10 years? Pretty well. She knows what's going on. That's AI. It's digging into everyone's lives. If they're on social media, it knows what they're doing. And then it also knows what the community is doing, the demand for properties, what's selling, if there's a fire, if there's not a fire, a new Starbucks opening up, did the school get a Blue Ribbon Award? It's using all that information to discern that these people will move. It does not mean that Charlene here wants to move. It could mean that Charlene wants to move. It could mean that she's typing on social media, someone know a good realtor, boom, she's on the list. It could also mean that Charlene's property is very unique and has extreme high demand, and she has a lot of equity in that home, and she just became an empty nester. There's lots of reasons why they become on the list, but they're on the list. So that easy to get to a target farm. By the way, this product is free to you guys. You guys just have to talk to your reps, and they'll get your account and they'll log in. I have not covered one thing that has a cost. There are some items that have a cost. I'm going to go into them a little bit later. There are items that the law prohibits title to give you. Emails, phones, marriages, births, deaths, divorces, those things title cannot just hand to you. You have to pay for them. But they're in the system. So Target Farm is one of those filters that you have. Stay years. Remember this farm was 11.69 years. So if I go to stay years, I keep wanting to click on the screen. If I go to stay years, it's going to show me everyone in the home from 10 to 13 years. Real simple. Now, anytime I do one of these filters, I can go to my share function, and I have an enormous amount of output. I have our concierge services, which we will do stuff for you. You can download it as a CSV or an Excel file. You can do a quick instant Facebook ad. You can place a Facebook ad on our system in 60 seconds. I will show you that in a bit. We have our newest feature, which is ringless voicemail, which actually Dora, which I'll talk about in a moment. We have over 30 different CRM exports. So you have a ton of different CRM systems that you can integrate with in our system. And that is according to the filter I'm on. If I'm on my target farm, my likely movers, all these exports are to that layout. I have third-party outputs, I have labels, I have reports. I can append this to another farm, I can share it, I can send all kinds of information to it. And one of my quick favorites is at the very bottom, I see this comp report Eugene. So it knows the cities that are in my farm, and it's gonna give me a Eugene report of all the sales that happened in Eugene, February of 2024. Terrific for a listing presentation. Hey, I know the area, I know the homes that sold, and here in seconds, I can go in there and I can produce that, and at the very bottom, it gives you a zip code breakdown of those homes that sold in those different individual zip codes. Again, no cost to you, quick and simple, great piece to take to a listing presentation. What's important about a listing presentation? Does anyone have a word that's really important on a listing presentation? Trust and the knowledge that you know. But I heard this quote about 2 weeks ago, I have to tell it to you. It was this older lady, and she was phenomenal. She was in her 90s, and she said, "No one cares what you know until they know that you care." No one cares what you know until they know that you care. What a great quote that is. And then when you go to a listing presentation, you want to talk about the family, you want to talk about the kids, you want to talk about everything else, and then get to the data. But then you got to look like you know what you know, right? This is one of those great pieces. It just says, I know your area. I know this piece of data. I know how it works, and there's plenty more where that came from. Let's go back in here, and I'm going to go back to my list. We have new homeowners. I love anniversary. Why anniversary? Anniversary. I clicked on the wrong one. I clicked on buyers holding. Buyers holding are people that are buying and holding, buying and renting, buying and Airbnb. Then there's also buyers selling, which are flippers. But I want to go into anniversary. Anniversary is everyone who purchased a home in the month of February. How great. Quick, simple letter every single month. Happy anniversary on the purchase of your home. I bet you they're going to say, my own realtor didn't wish me a happy anniversary on the purchase of my home. Quick, simple, and if you have an area that you dominate, you should definitely keep that out there and make sure that they're on your pieces. Because when you're just sending data about what's going on in the community, I'm the best realtor, use me, they lose focus, and it's just white noise. You need to befriend them, and you need to talk about the community, and you need to say something really simple, like happy anniversary. And this is a great piece to be able to do that. Other great filters that we have in here, I mentioned the buyers holding, owner occupied, out of state. I also want to show you long-term homeowners. Where? I can't see it. There it is. I'm losing my sight. But in long-term homeowners, I can go to term, and I can say, okay, show me everyone in the home, 2 to 4 years, 5 to 9 years, 10 to 13 years, 13 years plus. Show me all empty nesters. Simple, quick, or who are the biggest buyers right now in real estate? What age group are the biggest buyers in real estate? I'll give you a hint. Baby boomers. Consisting of 38% of all purchases in real estate right now. Baby boomers. Real quick, real simple, click baby boomers, they're all your baby boomer purchases. So, I'm sorry, the 38% of all the sellers in real estate right now. That's a big percentage for one group. And here they're all there in one place for you to be able to look at. So lots of great filters. Now we have these pre-built filters for you to be able to load and work with, but you don't have to use them. You could come into our custom filter interface and you can build your own filter. I want 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I want a different interface. Whatever I want to do in my custom filters, I can automatically produce in my custom filter script. But all of them are usable in an output. Now the first feature I'm going to show you that is a fee. It's not an expensive fee. It's $12 a year to have this function. It's to do mail merge letters. Mail merge letters gives you 80 different letter templates. You can create your own, you can use your own, you don't have to use ours. And we have, I think it's 80. So it's 159, it's not 159, I think it's 80. People play in the demo account, they create letters. But you can come into these letters and you can create a letter. You don't have to use our letters, let's just go into one. and I'm gonna go full screen here. And I just wanna show you how easy it is to mail merge. Do you guys know what mail merge is? Dear Joe, Dear Jane, that's normal mail merge or basic mail merge. But you can do so much more with mail merge. You can actually see here, Jane, you live in a 2-bedroom, 3-bath home. Your estimated equity is X. If you add a little more information to that, they step back and they go, wow, this person really knows my home. Or they took the time to write this themselves and they looked it up. They don't realize it's super simple. I'm gonna show you how you do that. You live in a bedroom and bath home. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna insert the variable for bedroom. And then I'm gonna go over here for bathroom. That quick, that easy. I created a letter, you live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and it's gonna automatically put all the proper values. I can bold, I can italicize, I can change the way my fonts work. I can put pictures, I can put logos, anything I want there. And then how easy is it to mail merge? You just click go, and it creates the letter. That quick, that simple. Now, I'm an Uber geek, takes me 15 minutes instead of Word to talk to Excel to do a mail merge letter. That's the normal way that you would do it. Here I just clicked, and I sit and I watch, and it creates my mail merge letter. Now the beauty of this too is that it creates a PDF. It's a document that you can download and print. And if it's 1,000 records, it just gives you a 1,000-page PDF. Now the reason why I like that is, terrific, you could print 1 a day and mail it, you could print 5 a day and mail it, you could print 100 a day and mail it. It's up to you on how much you're gonna spend. But now you can set any budget you want, from $1 a day to whatever you wanna spend in that day, and then you can just stay consistently marketing. A lot of people say print is dead. About 5 years ago, print was dead. Print just didn't work. The marketing just wasn't there. But now, because postage has become more costly, you've probably seen it in your home. You're getting less marketing coming to your home than you did 5 years ago. So print is actually doing really well. Do you guys know the marketing term? It used to be you have to text someone 7 times for them to remember you. Do you know what it is now? It's a little crazy. 22 times. 22 times. We've become numb to all the white noise, all the social media, all the print, everything that's coming out. 22 times. So when you're marketing to someone, if you're not doing social media, it's extremely expensive to do that much print. So you got to do social media. And I'm going to show you how quick and easy that is in our system. So here I'm going to go back to my farm. And in my farm, I'm going to just leave it on baby boomers. I'm going to go here, share, place Facebook ad. We have 14 templates. Everything is totally customizable. I can go onto my cute puppy template. I can change everything about the ad. I can change the description, the headline, the footer. I can change the picture if I wanted to. I can change the image from a carousel with multiple images to a video if I wanted to. And I can even change the call to action. Now, the reason I say call to action is that you don't have to change anything on this. How many have done Facebook ads? Great. Do Facebook ads work? Yes. Did they work for you? Sometimes people tell me no, and I tell them they made a mistake. Ads do not work when you have no call to action. You have to have a call to action. And by the way, a call to action is not linking them to your website. It's not a call to action. You have to link to a page, a form, get a free newsletter, come to my webinar, fill out this form and I'm going to contact you back. Get a free home evaluation, not go look at my reviews, go look at my testimonials, go look at my website. That's not a call to action. We automatically build a call to action in this. So what I'm saying is you could come in here, you could change nothing, and these are strong ads, automatically with our template. Because we automatically have a call to action on every single ad. Now this puppy ad, I love this puppy ad because it's twofold. In our custom filters, with our top upgrade, you actually have pet, they travel, they're veterans, all that information is within the system. I could custom filter it to just show me the people with pets who love pets, not just have a pet. And then do a Facebook ad to all the owners in your group that have a pet. I have a realtor in my own neighborhood, love her ad. She's actually lives about 7 homes from me. And she put out this Facebook ad, Saturday walk and talk. That's what her ad was, with a picture of her puppy on a leash. And people go to the park, and they walk with her dog, and their dogs, and their pets, and they walk and she talks real estate, the entire walk. She does about 7 miles. but she has like these mile breaks where you're looping back and you can stop. First time I went, it was me and someone else and her. And I went and she talked real estate. And now you have to have that gift. I do not have that gift. She could jabber on about real estate for an hour. Nevertheless, she's been doing that for about a year and a half. Now I see that I drive by every once in a while, there's 20, 30 people doing the walk and talk with her. Just because what did she do? She subliminally marketed to them on something they love, their pet, and she loves her pet, and then she talks real estate, and people have a great time with her. And she has all kinds of different ads, get fit with your pet, let's walk with your pet, let's talk about the down market with your pet. She got a new dog, and she was talking about her, just good marketing. So you can do quick and easy Facebook ads within the system to be able to market. By the way, the ads are $75 for a 10-day ad run, $35 for a 5-day ad run. If you go to Facebook Direct and you do a $75 ad run, it's $75. It's the same exact fee here as it would be there. Who's done Facebook ads? You did a Facebook ad? Have you ever done a Facebook ad? Let's say you do 10 days, and then at the end of 10 days, they tell you, congratulations, you spent $12, right? Or you do a 10-day ad run, and then on day 4, they tell you, congratulations, you spent your $75. They either spend it too fast, or they spend it too slow. The problem is you have to go into those ads, and it's time consuming, right? You have to go into those ads and rebid. You keep having to bid the ad to make sure you get the total spend. We do all that for you. We do it every 15 minutes of the day to make sure that you get your total spend. So now let's go into some of the filters that are in the pay area. Notice the defaults, notice the trustee sales, phones, emails, marriages, births, deaths, divorces, homes that are listed, potential flippers, equity, potential investment properties, previously listed, FSBOs, and short-term rentals. All in that pay community that you can actually get those. Marriages, births, deaths, divorces, do you know why those are really important? Because in 90 days, 80% of them sell their home. They're strong life events. Now, I have to tell you, a lot of people come into this and they go and they sign up, and our sign-up system says you get, for $49.95 a month, you get 500 life events. Now it's call us and they say, hey, I need 500 deaths. We're not out there shooting people. The deaths are the deaths. They're life events because they don't happen often, and I typically come back to them and say, how many deaths or marriages have happened in your block in the last couple of years? It's just normally not a lot. They're very unique, but they're very powerful when you want to market to them. I do highly recommend when you actually go to a life event, you're marketing to them, and we have sample letters and sample emails within the system. But don't go say, congratulations on your new baby boy. They're going to go, who are you and how do you know about my kid? It gets a little creepy. You want to be the right person at the right time. And that's true in all life event marketing. I specialize in making a new move. I specialize in growing families. I specialize. And that will get them to say, I just had a kid and she specializes in growing families. They're not putting the two together, and it's a great way to get to know them quickly and easily. By the way, on our system, being at a living farm, you don't have to be proactive. You just have to create your farms, your market areas, and it starts to let you know via email. There's a marriage in your farm, there's a birth in your farm, there's a death in your farm. This is not a system where you have to log in every single day to figure out what's going on. You can, but the system is letting you know automatically what's going on in your farm. Turnover rates going up, turnover rates going down. These are the areas that you're marketing. So lots of great filters that you can go into. One of my new favorites is short-term rentals. We all know short-term rentals, Airbnbs, VRBOs. It does a tremendous job of going in and finding those in the community and telling you where they are. Now, we are the only ones that have this, the actual address of the Airbnb and VRBOs. So you can go in and market to them. Why would you want to market to them? So in your community, and I don't know too much about the Eugene area and Airbnbs, but I know around the United States, all the laws are changing. You can't have them, you can't have them, it has to be a 30-day rental. When those laws change, that's when you should be hopping on them. When those laws change, you should create that farm for that area that the law affected, and you want to reach out to all these people because they may be thinking, okay, it's not worth it. It's just, I need to get out of that property because now I can't Airbnb it legally. Or now people have to, in Newport Beach in Southern California, they just made it where someone has to do a 30-day rental instead of a 1-week rental. It just became way too expensive for a beachfront property to have a 30-day rental. So all those people are selling. Great way to just jump on that target, but you have to keep your eye on the news for that. For sale by owners, I have one caveat for sale by owners. For sale by owners, the way we get them are newspaper ads, online posts, right? But a typical for sale by owner does not realize that they put the ad out, it is just gonna run for 30, 60, 90 days. When they list their home or when they take their home off the market, they don't take it off the ad. The ad's still out there. This is telling you that an ad is currently in the market for that property, for sale by owner. So when you want to contact them, you need a good script, a good for sale by owner script, and you need to contact them, but they may say, hey, I took it off the market, which is still okay, right? Or I just listed it. Just so you know, we're also taking off the ones that are listed right now from the MLS, so that you don't have to run into those. So a great way to talk to them, but they may not be in the market anymore. And typically, when I tell you this, not many people call FSBO. Sometimes they're a little aggressive, right? Sometimes they're, no, I hate realtors. I had a bad experience. And so you have to have your scripts ready for FSBOs. Those are great filters in the system, and all quick and easy for you to be able to work with and get those. And of course, we have all those great outputs that you can work with within the system. Now, I want to talk about a couple of the outputs. Ringless voicemail. Have you guys heard of ringless voicemail? Slide Dial is one of those companies. You're allowed to, you send a message and they don't hear the phone ring. They don't hear the cell phone ring. It just goes straight to voicemail and they get a message on their phone that says, you have a voicemail. So dang it, I missed the call, right? What ringless voicemail allows you to do is record a message and it goes out to one person, 1,000 people, 5,000 people, 10 people, whatever you want, and it sends that voicemail directly to their phone. Now, I built this over the last it was very hard to build, but we built it over the last 6 months. This December is when we launched it in January. This December I tested it for the first time for myself. And I'm gonna tell you a couple mistakes I made in the learning process that I made. The product worked fabulously, it worked really well. Ringless voicemail, so you know, works about 65 to 75% of the time. Phone companies don't like it too much, so not every single person will get a voicemail. About 65% to 75%. And if I send you a voicemail today, it may not work today, but it may work tomorrow. It just depends, 65 to 75%. I got 1,000 of my customers, and I sent them all a ringless voicemail during the holidays. I just said, happy holidays. I made 2 mistakes. Happy holidays, thank you very much for all these years in business. I actually quoted their website and how many years they were in business. I'll tell you how I did that in a moment. I did that recording. My mistake number 1, we haven't talked enough, we should get together. Mistake number 1. Sent the message. Mistake number 2, I had other stuff to do. I was 3:30 in the afternoon, I had other calls, I had other meetings, I had other stuff to do. My phone blew up. I was on the phone until 10:30 at night, answering calls, talking to people that just wanted to chat because of my mistake number 1. Because of my mistake number 1, they all wanted to schedule a lunch or time to get together or a complete review with me, not with someone on my team. That was mistake number 1. So I was on the phone for a very long time. The next 3 days, I was just calling people back. A third mistake was you have to have 2 scripts ready. Script number 1, they heard my voicemail and they're calling me back. Script number 2 is they did not hear my voicemail, they just saw a missed call and they're calling me back. You have to have both scripts ready because I wasn't ready for that and I was obliterated. But how hard is it to call 1,000 people? How long would it take to call 1,000 people and leave a message? A year. It's just not that easy. It takes a long time, and I did it in 5 minutes. It's a tremendous feature to be able to work with. I'm using it all the time now in my business. Past clients, inviting them to webinars, inviting them to events, announcing new events, and I'm getting way better response than I do via email or via text because it feels personal. Now, how did I customize that message to these people? There's 2 ways you can do a ringless voicemail. By the way, it's 10 cents a voicemail. 10 cents a voicemail if we leave the voicemail. If we don't leave a voicemail, it doesn't work. They just have a missed call. You don't get charged. So 1,000 people, you're going to get charged for 65, 60, 650 of them, approximately to 750. And then the rest are going to get a missed call, which I got a lot of callbacks to that number. So tremendous, tremendous feature to be able to reach out to those people and get responses in there. I'm using it for we have realtors using it for open house announcements around the property, just sold announcements around that property. We're having a barbecue, we're having an electronic waste event, and we're getting tremendous, tremendous responses, much higher than anything else. 1 week ago, the biggest accolade I got from it was a realtor sent out 500, got 45 calls back, 500, 45 calls back, 4 listing appointments, and 1 listing in 1 day. tremendous feature to be able to do it. Now, ringless voicemail, there are some rules, and our system goes through it on how you have to do it. You have to say your name and your company in the very beginning. Very beginning, you have to say your name and the company. Number two thing that you have to say is what you're calling about. Number three thing that you have to say is, if they want to get off your list, you have to give them some method to get off that. And it could be as simple as, hey, I don't want to bother you. If these messages bother you, please give me a call back and I'll be happy to take you off my list. You don't have to say it's automated. Not one of the people that I sent my message to thought it was automated. Now, how did I change the information in my individual calls? Dear Joe, dear Jane. I cloned my voice, AI. You go into the system, I'm not gonna go into it right now because you have to set up your machine and do a recording. You do a 30-second recording, you just jabber, just talk about anything in your 30-second recording. Figure out some place that you went hiking and you love and just talk for 30 seconds. You have to talk naturally, don't talk like a robot, don't say, hey, I'm supposed to be talking for 30 seconds. Just have a conversation like you're talking to your kids or to your family, talk about something you love for 30 seconds. The system will clone your voice. You'll also get a call back from my staff who's gonna wanna talk to you. They wanna make sure that the recording matches you, matches the phone number that's you. No one's gonna be able to clone your voice in our system and not be that person. We've even gotten people that they say, hey, no, I cloned my wife's voice, if she's okay with it. Yeah, I need to talk to your wife. So, I cloned my voice. Once I've cloned my voice, I can type a script. Hello, how are you doing? I just wanted to wish you a happy holiday, and I just really appreciate your business for all the years that you've had in my system, for 10 years, for 15 years, on your website of X. And those are variables that I put in, and it just sounded beautiful with my voice. I did clone my voice about 3 times because the first time I did the robot thing. I'm just talking, it doesn't work. You have to be natural. It does a phenomenal job. The easiest method is to record a generic message and then send it out. Does great. Obviously, to have do the ringless voicemail, you need the phones. You can either put them in or you can buy them from us for 8 cents an email, 8 cents a phone. How easy is it to get phones and emails in our system? You can come in here, I'm going to show you my target farm. These are my likely movers. And at the very bottom of the screen, you're going to see Get Email Phone. Click on Get Email Phone. It does some thinking. It has 101 points of contact, 52 phones, 49 emails. It's going to cost me, what's that, $8? $8.08. Simple, quick emails and phones within the system. How accurate are the emails and phones? 75%. 75%. It's all taken from social media, 75%. But we do a few things that are very unique in our system. One, we try to our best to get rid of minors. No one wants to be calling their 14-year-old. Also, if a home sells, let's say we collected this information in January and it sells in February, we get rid of it. It's useless. That's an old owner. So we don't keep that information anymore. Now it's 8 cents an email, 8 cents a phone, but there is a discount if you use our wallet system. 6 cents an email, 6 cents a phone. Why is it cheaper? Because I don't have to pay credit card fees. So wallet system is you buy $20 worth of credits, and you can use them anytime you want. They don't expire, and you can put them in the system, or you can use a credit card. That's totally up to you. So very easy to get emails and phones within the system, and then use them throughout the system. Now I'm going to show you another feature. I'm going to leave farms. I'm going to show you another feature in our system in profiles and farm, property profiles. I'm going to go here, continue. Go into another account. All right. I want to show you, I need to get into a different account because I'm showing you the property profiles, and my demo account doesn't let you pull the property profile. So in property profiles, you've all seen property profiles, nothing unique there. But we have a couple of unique features within the property profiles. I can type in an address, automatically helps me find that address. And then when it finds that address, I have a ton of different options. Now, one of the great features in our system is you're allowed to import your past sphere of influence. How many people have been in here that have been in real estate for 10 years? 15 years? 20 years? 30 years? Wow, congratulations. So you have a lot of clients, correct? A lot of clients that you've touched in the past. How powerful would it be for you to upload those clients into the system and get notified of marriages, births, deaths, divorces, new phones, new emails, or what I call the oh damn email. They just sold their home and Nancy was a realtor. So all that is really powerful. You can upload those, and it doesn't cost you anything to upload those into the system, and now you'll get notified on all those life events. But the real trouble is when you sell another home, that I really don't want to go in there and input 70 points of data. So all you have to do is pull up the property address and click Add Record to Farm, and it adds all that data to that farm. So now you have your past sphere of influence, and you keep it up to date, and you keep getting all those notifications on those people. But we have other functionality in here too. You can email that property profile. You can get the email and phone just for that one property profile for 8 cents. Email 8 cents, phone 8 cents. Or you can do our pricing confidence report. Our pricing confidence report is very simple. Have any of you done a listing presentation and you go in and the person wants, you know this home is worth 900,000, and you go in and they go, no, I need to sell it for $1 million. Right? Very hard to talk them out of that million. And you typically come into some kind of deal that says, okay, look, we'll list it at your list price for this many months, and then we're going to change it, and we'll have a listing price change. This report helps you out of that conundrum. It is a report, you type in an address, and it tells you what will this home sell for in 30 days, what would it sell for in 60 days, what would it sell for in 90 days. So here in 30 days, I can sell it for 1.3, in 90 days, I can sell it for 1.49, 1.5. Now, when you go into that, you can come up there and you can say, hey, I've been doing this for 30 years, I know what your home should sell for. I know this community. But what ammunition does someone who's been in the business for a couple years have? Not much, right? Here's the ammunition. Even for you, but here's the ammunition. Because it's an enormous report explaining why that property is going to sell for that, what properties are on the market, what properties have come off the market, and at the very end, it shows you all the expired properties around that property and what prices they sold at. By the way, this report was done in 2019, that's why it's showing 2019. But that one graph says it all. Now let's explain that graph. It shows you the prices in the range. The range is plus or minus. I know that's a huge variance out of 1.3, but we don't know the inside of the home. I don't know if it has a Viking stove and a Sub-Zero fridge and Italian marble. I don't know. All I know is what's going around in the community. But you notice at month 3, the variance goes way down to 52,000. Why? Because the system is predicting the demand for that property is going to be higher because the people selling around it are going to be gone that match that property. So now it doesn't matter what that home has because it has no competition, hence the variance goes way down. How confident are we in this report? I tell you at the very top, I'm at a 90% confidence score on this report. How do I predict the confidence? I do this report on every single property in the United States every single day. When the property goes for sale, I mark what my values were. When the property sells, I see how well I did. In this tract, for this home, that's how well I've been doing. 90% of the time, I've been within my mark. If my confidence score is below 75%, I give you the report for free. I don't charge you for it. This is a $8 report. Produce it. Now, I have 2 caveats with this report. 3 caveats. Number 1, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. You're going to talk to your rep. You're going to give them an address. I'm going to give you this report for free for 1 property. Okay? Number 2, SFR only. Please don't do some big commercial building. It's just not going to work. Okay? SFR only. Has to be a single family residence. I'll give you that report. Number 2 is it shouldn't be for sale already. If it's for sale, that vexes all the value. If it's for sale, I'm already looking at that property as one of my valuations and it just doesn't match. It should be a property that's about to be for sale, that you're going on a listing presentation, that you want to get that listing. Those are the only caveats, and then I give you the report. It's a tremendous report. I find that realtors, once they start using it, they start using it really well. Oh, last item, don't do this a week before. You got to do it day before or day of. Why? Because a week before, something else is going to happen in that market. Another property is going to come on. Other competition is going to come in. It changes the market. This is also not an instant report. It takes about 15 minutes, so don't do it like on the way out the door. It takes some time to process. Tremendous report for you to be able to work with. Also in our property profiles, you can come into the system and you can actually do what we call lien reports. You guys, It's basically the same thing as a pricing confidence report with a little more lien information. So I could come in and do a lien and equity report. Show you my sample here. And one of the things I want to show you that's really important in this report is we give you all the basic property information. We give you this evaluation. Let me talk. You guys know what an AVM is, automated valuation model? You know what CMA is, comparative market analysis? Do you know the difference? Okay, so for those that don't, you know. CMA, comparative market analysis. If I put my home for sale today, what would it have sold for if I put it for sale 90 days ago? CMA in the past, okay? If I put my home for sale 90 days ago, what would it have sold for today? That's a CMA. AVM, automated valuation model. If I put my home for sale today, what will it sell for? That's why all appraisers use AVM. That's why when you're valuing a property, you want to use the AVM. CMA tells me is like a teaser. If you would have used me, this is what we could have got you today. AVM, if you use me, this is what we will get. Okay? This is an AVM. You all know Zillow. Yes? 33% discrepancy. 33%. $1 million property, they're plus or minus $330,000. Trulia, 21% discrepancy. $1 million property, they're off $210,000 plus or minus. Couple big players in the market, CoreLogic, Black Knight, 17% discrepancy. $1 million property, $170,000 plus or minus. This AVM, I know it's an $8 report, 7% discrepancy. $1 million property, plus or minus $70,000. Huge value in this evaluation. It is the #1 AVM in the nation. I'm not making that up. We've been rated every single year. In the last 2 years, we got the #1 AVM in the market. That's one great part about this, but of course, this report is not about that. It's about voluntary and involuntary liens. Great for an investor, great for it to be able to look that up and be able to get all that information on that property. Tons of information on the property. I even like it as it goes into the comparative market properties for sale, the current properties for sale. It's sort of like putting the whole MLS and the assessor data and the AVM all into one bundle. Pricing listing history, this is a great way to see, okay, what this property, what has it changed, what has it been doing? And then we go into some zip code area summaries, so some great graphs to be able to work with, and great report, terrific report to be able to work with in the system. In our property profiles, we have a couple other great features which I really like. We have our target farms at the very bottom. What is our target farm? Just listed, just sold, click target farm, gives you the 25 properties that just listed around, that are likely to sell around that home. Quick and easy, type in a property, I want to hit 25 people really hard. So you just listed 25, market them really hard. It's pretty easy to market to 25 people. And there you have that in one click in the system. Short-term rental analysis, I'm going to show you in a bit. Radius farm, that's a quarter-mile radius around that property. I want to market to these people very heavily. One thing about just listed, just sold, and centroid marketing, it doesn't have to be your home. I know I say that and you go, well, I don't want other realtors marketing around the home, but the truth is, you don't have to wait. If a home is for sale, what happens around that home? Everyone becomes top of mind. Everyone around that home is thinking about their value and if they should sell or buy. I promise you, they may not want to sell or buy, but they're thinking about it. Why not hit them when they're thinking about it? And that's a centroid farm around just listed or just sold property. They're thinking about it. Do you guys know that homes sell in clusters? They always have, they always will. You look at a heat map, which I'll show you in a bit, they sell in clusters. They sell, and the people around them sell. It's never an even spread across an area. They sell in clusters. I'll show you that as well. Short-term rental analysis. I love short-term rental analysis. I actually created it when I was sitting here one year in an Airbnb. Let's go into this form. I was sitting at my Airbnb and I said, you know, I bet you I could predict what this home would actually go for as an Airbnb. So I created a routine. We worked on it for a few months and we created this routine. The process is extremely simple. It's $1 a report, or if you're on one of the upgrades, it gives you 5 reports free a month. You click on a property. It's going to take a second because I just loaded. You click on a property and it's going to come up with a whole bunch of options for me to be able to work in that property. Everything from a free home evaluation, a short-term rental analysis, talk about notes by emails, phones, everything about that property is there. But I can also do I'm gonna go to the deep dive in a moment. I'm gonna do my short-term rental analysis. It's gonna analyze everything that around this home, and it's gonna tell me this home could make $3,096 per month, or an annual revenue of $37,154. It shows all the competitors around that home, and it shows me my month-to-month potential income about that home, because everything is a trend, right? And the beautiful part about this is if you do this around a property that has like a major event, like let's say in Arizona there's that major golf event, you'll see that it spikes at that golf event, not just the summer. It also shows you the actual Airbnbs around that home. And I can actually click on those and actually bring up the Airbnb, so I can actually look at it on the Airbnb site and sort of compare how this works or compares to my home. Now the fun part about that is, I closed the screen, sorry. I actually closed my farming screen. The fun part about that is I can actually do the air analysis. Now a lot of people ask me how accurate the Airbnb analysis is. Now, when you're doing the Airbnb analysis or the short-term rental analysis, you can go in and you can see the average daily rate. That is 100% accurate. 100%. It's coming from Airbnb and VRBO. You can actually go and look and see on the website that that's the rates that they're going for. What's not 100% accurate is my evaluation on that property, right? I don't know that my evaluation, it's just basically using the comps on that property to figure out if it's an actual Airbnb and what it's doing. I'll just go into another property here and not close the page. So here I can look at that, and then I can say, after I look at all my Airbnbs, I can come up here, and I can say, hey, my home is 75% better than all those homes. My home is 25% better than all those homes. So it automatically changes the valuation for it. I just did this on the Airbnb that I'm staying in here right now. It's within $5 of the actual value of the product. I know the owner, so. It really does really well, and it's a great feature within the product to be able to use and work with. Now, in that same note, I can go into a property, and we have something called Deep Dive. I'm about to blow your mind. It's a little bit creepy, it's a little bit Big Brother, but it's an extremely powerful tool. I'm gonna go into this property. This farm's not upgraded. So what Deep Dive does is it takes all the social media for that property and finds all the lifestyle characteristics. Do they like pets? Do they like dogs? What language do they speak in the home? How many people are in the home? How many kids are in the home? All that ability is within the system for you to be able to work with. So once I go in, I'm gonna look at Sharon here, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna look at her Deep Dive information. And I can see that there's 2 people in the household. She's 59 years old. 2 generations in that household. She has, let's see if she has any lifestyle and interest information. Lifestyle and interest, looks like she travels a lot, likes to travel in groups. We don't have any pet information. Now, like pet information, if that appears, it doesn't mean they have a pet license. They usually love their pet. Their pet has an Instagram, a Facebook account, their pet has pictures in their social media. It's looking at social media to gather all this information. The beauty of this is you're going to a listing presentation, and now I sort of know a little bit of who I'm talking to and where I'm gonna go, what I should talk about, what I shouldn't talk about. We can get into financial information as well. I can see estimated FICO score at 650 to 699. I can say they invest. It looks like they donate a lot to the community. So maybe this person is someone that I want to invite them to my electronic waste pickup. I want to invite them to my food drive, whatever it may be. These are things that I can focus on, and I can filter on these within the system to just focus on those people. So extremely powerful tool to be able to work with, and this is called Deep Dive. This comes with a $49 a month package, and it gives you 50,000 properties of Deep Dive for $49 a month. Not to mention the 49 gives you marriages, births, deaths, divorces, phones, emails, all of that, and this in that one package. And again, we do that because we can't legally give it away from title. It has to be purchased. Any questions on Deep Dive?
How many per month you said you get? How many properties?
Deep Dive, you get 50,000.
Yeah. 50,000 you said?
50,000.
Oh my God.
You choose 10 farms.
Yeah.
Those farms have to be under 5,000 records, and you get this on every single one of those properties, on 10 farms that you choose within the system. Extremely valuable. It alone is worth that $49 a month fee. And by the way, the monthly fees that exist in the system are They're no long-term contracts, it's all month-to-month. Let's go into,
On the no social media detected, is that they don't, or is it because there's not a social media attached to this account?
we didn't find one.
Okay.
We didn't find this person's social media account.
Okay.
By the way, that works about 30% of the time, but when it does, it's extremely powerful to be able to find it. So now I'm gonna go into what's a homework. So you get this on that same $49 package, you get what's a homework. You may have seen this feature before. Go to this website, get your free home evaluation. That's the type of marketing. By the way, that's the #1 lead generator. We host right now 220,000 websites, 69,000 of which are real estate related. That's what we host right now. This is the #1 lead gen on any website. What is your home worth? Okay? If you're not offering that on your website, how many people have a website? You need to have a website. You have to. It's like having a business card. If you don't have a business card, they don't think you're real. I know everything's going social media, but you have to have a website attached to that social media because they're gonna do their due diligence on you and they wanna see what you have. And they're cheap, guys. I mean, it's $9, $10 a month that you can get a website for. But offer a free home evaluation. This feature allows you to get a code for every single property in the system. They type in the code, they get basically a property profile, a comp report on their property, and you get a lead. The system also starts them on a 12-month follow-up campaign from you, letting them know how to improve their home value, how to improve their marketing, how to improve their backyard. All that automatically is emailed to them from you. Honestly, I would say, hey, do what's a homework, send out a few thousand emails, letters, go to the Bahamas, and it's doing its work all by itself because it's taking the lead, it's filling in the lead, and it's starting to follow up with them on a regular basis. Do you guys know email marketing? How many do email marketing? Email marketing has changed dramatically over the last couple decades. In the 1900s, it was all about it's the best lead gen in the system. Realtors, hey, go market, go email blast. You're gonna get a lot of leads. 2000s, it started to change. It just became white noise. There was too much information. Late 2000s, which we're in, later 2000s, which we're in right now, it's changed dramatically. But let me tell you where it does work. It's called drip email marketing for a reason. You need to let them know you're still around. I recently just purchased a brand new Ford Lightning, electric truck. Love it, by the way. And who did I buy it for? I bought it from the guy who's been emailing me every single month for the last 20 years on what's happening in the Ford market. It wasn't some stock email from Ford. It was him writing with stock ugly pictures of cars, of people that bought them standing next to their car, an engine. I bought it from him because he's been consistently marketing to me, and he has no idea that I've been reading his emails for all these years. But I felt like I knew him. It's like watching the morning news. You feel like you know these people. So you need to do that in your marketing. If you meet someone, add them to a drip campaign. If you see someone and they go to an open house, put them on an email marketing system. You need to drip market. And one of the things you should add in your drip marketing is what's the value of your home. And I did say one of the things. Every third item needs to be about real estate. Every third item. The other two are about what's happening in the community or what's new in the market. Not selling real estate. You can't always be pushing real estate, you gotta be social. It's called social media for a reason. You gotta be social. What's a home worth? Tremendous value, tremendous view in the system. Gives you a lot of work. By the way, I'm not gonna go into that today, but the email marketing system is all right here. We have 160 different email templates, a bunch of email campaigns, all built for real estate for you to be in. But before I go, I wanna show you the real estate analytics that we have. I'm gonna go into my sales hot zone map. And in my sales hot zone map, I'm gonna turn off group view. I'm gonna go to 60 days. And I'm gonna type in Eugene. These are the sales that have happened in Eugene over the last 60 days. The blue is 400,000 to $1 million. The pink is $1 million to $5 million. The green is 250,000 to 400,000. There's a lot of things that this map tells you, and you can go into it anytime you want and just view what's going on. Number one, I can see the clusters. Cluster, cluster, cluster. Now, everyone goes after high turnover rate, right? You want to go market to an area that's high turnover rate. You realize high turnover rate means you're late to the party, right? You're late to the party. Party started, you're late. You're gonna get good marketing because everyone's top of mind, but you're still late to the party. This is what I call a loner, all by itself. No cluster. You're early to the party. Why not market to the loners? You're early to the party. You will create this farm and it's gonna have a dismal turnover rate, 1%, 2%. Why not take advantage of that and you'll be early to the party, because later on, that guy is gonna look like this. Cluster, cluster, loner, big cluster, right? Really late to the party, loner. Now, how do I define loners compared to clusters? It's people and they're driving to, and where they're driving and being top of mind. If they're not gonna see that open house sign, that for sale sign, because they're not driving by this home, they're not top of mind. This is all by itself. If they drive by and they see all these open house signs, for sale signs, then they're part of the same cluster. So when you see a freeway, a major boulevard, you separate those automatically. So there's a big cluster over there, nice cluster over here, potential, no, that's a cluster of two, cluster of two, cluster of two, loner, loner, loner. Now what do I do with the loners? I click on them, and I create a centroid farm. You're gonna get 100 properties, market the heck out of those 100 properties, because they are all top of mind right now. Now the marketing technique is not on the local realtor in your market. The marketing technique is, do you know your home value has gone up? Why do I know that? Because no matter what, when a home sells, unless it's a notice of default, notice of trustee sale, or bankruptcy, right? When a home sells, all the values jump up for 60 days. Happens all across the nation. When that home sells, all the market values jump up for 60 days. So what you wanna do is you wanna come in saying, did you know your home value has just spiked? Why not take advantage of that right now? They're gonna go check you on Zillow, on Trulia, on Realtor.com. They're gonna say, wow, she's right. I should go maybe market and maybe have that conversation. But if you go just, I'm your realtor, it's bland marketing, they're not gonna contact you. But that's a great technique. I have a lot more in the system. We didn't even go through custom data or probate data, but it's an enormous tool for you to be able to use and gather data. First steps. Step number 1, contact your rep, set up a meeting to get an account, get in there and start creating farm.